Hello everyone. Welcome to Dining with the Divas.
Hi.
Dawn's here. I'm Sarah. And Gina's behind the camera here. She was zooming in on our cute little lady celebrating ladies card here.
Yes, and we have to give a huge shout out to one of our original dinner guests, Navneet, who brought this lovely cards for us, some candy, and one of my favorite bubbles, La Marca. Thank you, Navneet. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Navneet. Welcome, everybody. This is going to be a delicious night.
Yes.
And Galentines. So, what does this mean? You guys came up with this, or does everybody do Galentines?
I think everyone does it.
Yeah.
I think it's a thing.
But are we allowing boys into Galentines?
If they want to be involved.
Maybe if they bring us some flowers and bubbles.
Bubbles, diamonds.
Chocolate.
It's all good. Well, I want to welcome everybody for joining tonight for this great cooking extravaganza and eating extravaganza. My name is Gina. I'm the cheese whiz here at Venissimo. We're here with Chef Sarah, who's also the manager at the Del Mar shop here at Venissimo. And then we have Dawn, who is our pairing guru, Mama Molaterno, all good things about the beverages we're going to be consuming with the dinners tonight. And this is Dawn. So Dawn and Sarah are going to take you on this journey and teach us all something. I am going to be manning the chat room. So those of you that are familiar with YouTube, if you have a YouTube account, you can ask questions via chat. If you don't, you can still watch all the questions, and hopefully we will answer them anyway through all the others. But gosh, welcome. This is so exciting. Do we have to have a cheers straight away, right?
Oh,
because it is
my glass.
February. Oh, it's empty. I will cheers to myself.
Here's my water.
It's okay. We can
Okay, water will do.
We can toast with water.
Because they've been drinking a lot longer than I have today, so.
Okay.
All right. That's uncalled for.
maybe.
All good.
Nah,
But welcome. So, Sarah, tell us a little bit about the scheme for the day and
All
what
right.
we should be prepared with.
Everyone should have had one of these little pieces of paper in their bag, and this kind of had suggested equipment list. So I have 2 cutting boards here. I've got some different utensils. I've got a couple different knives, microplane tongs. I added some scissors. I forgot on the list because I knew that these goat cheeses were going to be difficult to open. But you'll need a pot with boiling water on the back of the sheet. I did say to have the water boiling just to kind of get things ahead. And then I have my toaster oven set to 375. That'll be for the chicken later. But just to kind of go over what's in everybody's bag, everybody got a bottle of wine. We're going to be making our cocktail a little bit later. I have separated all of my ingredients by, what they're going with. So over here we have little edible flowers. These will be for the cocktail and the dessert. Some blueberries, a blood orange, a little Perrier here. That's for our cocktail. Then for our dessert, we have this little Heart's Desire cheese. It's a heart-shaped Mount Tam, which everybody loves.
I haven't even tried that, you guys, myself.
We haven't tried it
Have you
either.
tried it not yet
No.
either? Okay, good. It's only for the season, so this is first.
Yes, but everyone loves Mount Tam already, so everything's better heart-shaped.
Good.
We have some chocolate-covered candied cherries. Those are going to be...
Okay, don't even get me started
With
on
our-
this. You guys have tried those, eh?
Yes,
They are
so good.
So don't eat ahead.
Don't eat ahead.
Or you'll just miss out later.
Or do, yeah.
Eat them all and come get more here at the shop.
Yes. Everyone's got some parsley in a little baggie, some little containers wrapped butter, hunk of Parmesan. You can't have pasta without Parmesan. Some bow tie noodles. Then we have some chicken stock here and a little bit of Dijon mustard. And then what's going to go in our chicken, we have sun-dried tomatoes, a little container of garlic, a lemon. You have spinach, cream cheese, and then these little goat cheeses on top. I have my chicken back there on the table.
Are you the most organized person ever?
Yes.
Yes, Carol agrees.
We had a list.
Oh,
yesterday.
yes, I believe it. Well done.
And everything is measured for you. You won't have to
Yes.
measure
No
anything.
measuring.
Yes, we had a
Yay.
measure yesterday. Everything.
A measure party.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, wait.
That's awesome.
How many ounces are in a quarter cup? No.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No.
You'll learn.
I know that.
We'll learn.
It makes all of this so much easier if it's all so organized.
Isn't there a term for that in the chef world? When you're preparing before?
Mise en
The
place.
mise en place.
Mise en place. Preparing
Everything
things
in its
before.
place, yeah.
Yes, everything in its place before you start cooking.
Yes.
Yep.
Also good, I've learned to kind of look ahead and see how long that it really should take. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm going to make this. I don't even look ahead. And then it says, oh, it needs to rest for 2 hours or something crazy. I'm like, oh, that's not going to work.
Nope.
So always prepare ahead.
Yeah.
Always prepare ahead. Goes for tables too.
Yes.
Prepare your table beforehand.
Yes, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Then you're not worried about it rushing
You're
around.
not running around. Oh, I gotta go get
The
this.
tip of the day. You're going to get even
gotta
more
get this.
curlier. You're
I
about to
know,
steam
sorry.
I
bath.
know. My hair will.
My water's
Grow.
boiling, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit. About the time it takes the pasta to cook, maybe 9-10 minutes, is about the time it takes for the chicken to cook. So we'll put the pasta in once the chicken is ready to go in. So I think we'll start by making the filling for our chicken. So I have a little bowl here, a cute little chicken spatula.
I'm gonna move this so people can maybe see better.
Yeah. I don't want to kill our flowers with all my steam power
Oh,
here.
beautiful flowers today. Very, very festive for the season.
So I have some spinach here. This was just frozen spinach that's been thawed. As I put it into my bowl, I'm going to kind of squeeze off the excess liquid. I'm just going to do that into the trash over here because you don't want it to be too soupy in your chicken.
Do you always, would you use fresh spinach or frozen just as well?
You could use fresh spinach. You'd have to saute it first.
Uh-huh,
Yeah,
okay.
because you want to break it down a little bit. You don't want it to be raw going into the chicken.
Good to know. Because I had actually heard, it was on one of the Food Network channel programs, that you don't get the health benefits of spinach unless you cook it.
Really?
Yeah, so the raw spinach isn't as nutritious as when it's cooked because that's when it's broken down. Maybe digestible?
Oh.
Who
I
knows?
put raw spinach in my smoothies
Yeah.
for nothing.
Yes, apparently you are. This is what I heard. I don't know.
Maybe
We
the
could look it up.
molecules can do something, when
Yeah.
it breaks down. I never heard of that.
But I did, yeah.
Interesting.
But it was like on Chopped or something big, so
Really?
unless they're liars.
Must be
I don't
true.
know, it must be true.
It must be true.
I like to keep just the frozen spinach in my freezer because you
Yeah.
always have it ready. Everything for this dish is something I feel like I always have. Spinach in the freezer, chicken stock just in the pantry, the sun-dried tomatoes can stay in the fridge forever. Like this is one of those meals, like a pantry meal, you can just whip together.
Yeah.
But I have my spinach here. Then we're gonna add, this is cream cheese. This is a whipped cream cheese. You don't have to have whipped cream cheese, but if you have regular cream cheese, I recommend it being room temperature. It'll be much easier to mix with the rest of the ingredients.
Just like eating cheese at room temperature, things are much easier and better
Yes.
at room temperature.
And that's exactly
Cooking,
why
right?
after
Yeah.
the chicken, we're gonna make our dessert because we want it to sit out, get to room temperature before we eat it.
True. Room temp is a good thing.
We have these cute little Miss Natural goat cheeses from Cypress Grove. They are just the cutest little fresh goat cheese. It's just their basic, just most
That's where everything
tried and
starts,
true recipe.
right? Yeah. Everything starts
And
with
the
Ms.
texture
Natural.
is
Yes.
just like
Oh gosh, that's
velvet.
so good.
Yeah.
Oh, can we say so? Cypress Grove is California's most well-known cheesemaker, up in Arcata, up near the Oregon border.
I'm going to refresh Chef.
She's like, I have no drink and I have to go.
We have to have another little glass of bubbles because what's dinner without
Exactly.
wine?
But that fresh Chev, that's where people who are fans of Humboldt Fog, this is where it all starts, is with this fresh Chev, and then everything builds and grows around that. Yeah?
A little bit of lemon zest.
Oh, always good.
Yum.
Do you want to talk about why it's considered vegetarian cheese?
Ah, yes. So because we get that question a lot.
Yes.
There are vegetarian cheeses, and the reason is this. Cheese, we know it's curds and whey, and what separates the curds from the whey is usually a enzyme called rennet. And rennet is actually naturally found in the stomach of a calf. But that's an animal product, of course. So a lot of cheesemakers had discovered that there are vegetable sources that have that same enzyme inside that can make the same thing happen, separate the curds from the whey. So Cypress Grove happens to be a cheesemaker that chooses to do their cheesemaking with this vegetable rennet. So for
true
vegetarians,
vegans too, or
Yeah.
not vegans, vegetarians.
yeah,
you're right.
vegetarians,
Yeah,
exactly.
'cause it's still the milk. Yeah.
Yes, but for vegetarians, there is an option out there in the cheese world. A lot of cheesemakers choose it. It has nothing to do with flavors. It doesn't alter the flavor one bit, either direction. You go with the animal rennet or the vegetarian, unless it's Portuguese. Remember the thistle rennet?
Oh, the thistle
The
rennet.
thistle
yes.
rennet. The Portuguese use, yes, the thistle, the weed. It looks like a cardoon. It's called the
I think
cardoon.
thistle's part of, I think
Thistle, yeah.
artichokes are part of the thistle
Exactly.
family.
Yes, it looks just like this. And if you put that thistle enzyme in the cheese, it imparts a really strange and wonderful flavor. That's the only time that I know that the rennet makes a difference in the flavor. But it's a good choice for vegetarians. English cheeses tend to be vegetarian. It's just an interesting
Quebec's
cultural
vintages.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah, isn't it interesting?
One of our
Yeah.
vegetarian ones.
So, vegetarian cheeses do exist, and you can always ask one of the
But
mongers.
not
would
vegan.
you- No vegan cheeses, and we'll have a whole episode on that.
At a later date.
At a later date, like much later.
But so I added some garlic into the mixture while Gina was chatting. This is my favorite tool for the kitchen. I use this for everything. I used it to zest my lemon. It's called a microplane. I also used it to zest my garlic because it makes everything so fine and it just melts into your dish. You don't have chunks of garlic. You're not going to find like pieces in there. It's just like melts right in.
Why do I ever mince
It
when you
smells
do
so good.
this?
Because
Ever,
then you
ever.
also like your hands get sticky, like garlic is so
Yes.
sticky, and this works perfect. And then I'm also going to use this to grate my cheese later over the pasta because it makes such fine pasta. But you can see even my grater is like gunked up with garlic and lemon zest. I'm going to leave it there because when I zest the cheese over the pasta, all of that garlic and lemon flavor is still just going to go into my pasta. So little
Tricks
tips
of the
there.
trade, Gina. Tricks of the
Tricks
trade.
of the trade. I love
There
these
you
tricks.
go. I like them too.
We
Love
have
this.
our sun-dried tomatoes here. These are the ones we sell in the shop.
Okay.
We use them on all of our favorite sandwiches.
I have them on like every sandwich I make.
Don't get started. And what about the oil, Sarah?
The oil.
That
We're
oil
going
in
to
there?
use the oil to saute our chicken, so don't,
Okay, don't throw
it
away the
out.
oil. Yeah.
There's a ton of garlic in here.
I take that
herbs.
oil home with me.
Right? Dip
When
the bread in for sure.
When the
bread.
when the jar is empty, I take the oil home, and that's what I do. I saute chicken in it,
Yeah.
and it comes out so good.
Good.
You just it's like feels like a good healthy meal for some reason, with all that oil.
Probably
though.
not.
It's probably not.
Isn't
but
that the
it's
Mediterranean diet?
delicious. I know,
right
but
there?
it's so good though.
So good.
It's just
yeah.
like one of my favorite things.
Mm.
And the
I'm just-
chunks of garlic that are in that. ugh,
Stop. Yeah.
Yes, if you ever, because there's chunks of garlic in the tomato mixture, if you ever happen to get one of the chunks of garlic on, like when we make the Italian sandwich and it falls off onto the panini press, the shop smells so good.
People are like, what are you cooking? It smells so good in here.
Right. That's heaven.
I'm just doing a rough chop on the tomatoes here,
I have that on almost every single one of my sandwiches.
and I'm going to
It
add this
just
to
adds
the
that
mixture.
nice zest.
Mm.
Like it's a real tangy kind
Yes.
of deliciousness.
Okay.
So this is all for the stuffing that's going into the chicken, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do a quick little mix here.
Oh, that looks so Italian. Just look at the red and green. Oh, so yummy. I wish somebody's got to invent smell-o-vision. We say this every time. Right? Somebody, work on this.
Smell of it.
Right? Because it smells so good.
Yeah, I guess you could just like put a little fan around your TV and just have like an
Yes.
incense diffuser
A
thing.
diffuser. We should make cheese diffusers with the cheese smell. A cheese shop
Yes.
smell.
Or garlic.
Like,
Garlic, though, I think stimulates appetite.
yeah, the cheese shop maybe
Just
not
the,
so much.
the smell of garlic, cooking garlic,
Right?
it's
You start
like
salivating.
Something like
Exactly.
It's so good.
delicious. So good.
So we included a baguette for everyone with their bag because this, I think, is a little bit too much filling, but if you overstuff the chicken and it kind of oozes out into the pan, then you just scoop it all up with the bread and it's so good.
Can't we scoop now?
When it's melted and delicious.
Oh wait, there it is. Jelly bellies.
Jelly bellies. That's right. Thank
Okay.
you again, Navneet. Yes.
Filling is ready. I'm just going to flip my cutting board here and we'll start cutting the chicken and I'll have Gina zoom up a little bit on
Oh,
how
on the
to
chicken.
create the
Yes, because this is going to be a great tip on how to do this. What did you call the term? Stuffing?
The
Filleting?
the
Folding?
pocket.
The pocket. Here we go. To the
You wanna move
pocket.
your-
Give me a second.
Let's move these out of the way. So,
Golly. Sorry, people. Here we go.
I have my chicken breast here. You see?
Mhm.
And I have
Oh, give me 1 second, Sarah. We have a technical difficulty.
go ahead.
We're just going to go like this. Give me 1 second. Hold, everyone. sorry.
Operator error.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. It did not like me. Okay, let's try this.
So I have a really skinny, long knife. You can use a fillet knife classic for cutting down proteins, but this is like my favorite little handy knife that I use. So essentially, I want to go into the side of the chicken like this, and then not moving my knife from this spot here, I'm just going to saw a little bit to kind of create this pocket inside the chicken while leaving the opening fairly small. So here we go. Wish me luck.
All right.
I'm going to leave my
Good
hand
luck.
flat over the top of the chicken. This keeps it in place, keeps it steady, and then also keeps the knife at like a nice even level playing field here.
Right.
So just going to go in. You should be able to tell where your knife is going. You don't want to go all the way through the chicken because you just want a pocket inside the chicken breast.
And the pocket is just really a cut, a simple cut.
Yeah. So I
Not
have
too
this
deep. Mhm.
chicken. You can see I haven't cut through to the other side, but if you kind of open it up, I have this nice pocket where I'm going to put all my filling. But the hole is very small, but the pocket almost reaches the whole chicken breast. But this hole is very small, nothing's going to ooze out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a
So
good
that's
little
the trick. I
trick.
think I make the hole too big if I've ever done something before, like
Yeah.
a little too, yeah.
That's what helps. A really skinny knife helps with that.
Uh-huh.
Even if all you have is a parent one. Should I turn this way so you can see
Yes, that would be
better?
great. That's awesome.
Kind of stick it in there. There we go. I'm just tilting my knife and doing a sawing motion, not really moving it from this point. And I've got a nice little
interesting
pocket.
technique.
Yeah. I make this recipe all the time. Me and my husband love making this, but I mostly make it with pork.
Ooh,
yeah.
a thick chop?
A nice thick
Nice thick
pork
chop.
chop, yeah. But I thought chicken would be a nice something different. So I got a nice little pocket here. This one broke through a little bit, but we'll make it work. If you feel like you need to tear open a little bit, you can. But
Yep.
my chicken's ready.
Your chicken is ready. Easy peasy.
Okay. All my hands are still chickeny. No. You'll see. So, now I'm going to hold my chicken with the hole open at the top. And I'm just going to grab my filling and just stick it in there. And
Hands on.
yeah.
I love that.
Nothing wrong with getting dirty in the kitchen.
Nope.
Right?
And you're going to be surprised at how much you can fit in there once you're just like, you kind of start with a little bit and just kind of poke it in there, and you'll realize that you can get a whole lot of stuffing.
And do you want to stuff that like pretty tight? Like
Yes.
pack it in there?
It's
Pack
definitely
it in?
packed.
Sounds delicious. Can't
Yeah.
wait.
By making the pocket rather than like butterflying the chicken, I feel like you get a more even pocket of filling.
Would that work for like
Nice.
cordon bleu and stuff?
Oh yeah,
You know,
definitely.
instead of trying to roll and stick it with
Make a pocket.
you know,
yeah, you make a
toothpicks
pocket
and-
instead.
Yeah.
So
Well, you could try that dish.
now I've made my.
It smells so good.
Look at how fat it is.
Yeah, it's puffed up. You can see it's super firm, and you can't even tell. Like the little cut is so small.
But that is just stuffed to the gills. I
Yeah,
can see
you
it
see
how
how
it's
tall it-
puffy.
here,
Yeah, that's so
hold it
good.
up.
Hold it up. Yep.
Do you see how tall it is compared to the other chicken?
Looks like a dolphin from this end.
Okay, no more.
Is that a dolphin? No.
Is that a dolphin I see? Okay,
Lots
look
of
at that.
vacation
That
foods.
stuffing. Have you stuffed? Okay, you talked about cordon bleu, which is blue cheese stuffing. What else
Yes.
could you stuff? Have you stuffed other things in there? Could you do stuffing?
I don't
That's
see why
stuffing.
not. I'd have to make sure it's super moist. You don't want dry stuffing in
Yeah.
a chicken, but you definitely could.
But
I
you
think the fact
could.
that this has two different cheeses and is really like liquid based.
Liquid and fatty, kind
Yeah.
of rich that way. Good point. Stuff it with something rich
Yes.
or
Yeah.
moist. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I think I didn't salt the filling because I think the goat cheese and the cream cheese have enough salt. That's why I didn't salt
To
it.
salt it, okay.
Yeah, because I'm gonna salt the chicken too.
Oh.
I know this is not a glamorous job.
No, but how fun.
It's
Like,
gonna be
I kind of
so
want to be
good.
in there. Yeah. And yeah. I hope everybody's smelling the same thing. We're smelling. This is so good. Stuffing. I had a question, but it's escaped me. Give me a second.
I feel like, so if I hadn't touched this whole bowl of filling with my chicken hands, you definitely could have set some aside
Yeah.
and just like put it in a cast iron skillet and heated it up for a dip, like a makeshift spinach
Oh.
dip.
Oh, yes.
Could be dipping our bread in that.
We could
Sorry.
be.
Thanks, Sarah.
But look at how puffy they are. You're right. When they're
Yeah.
stuffed, that's amazing.
This one exploded a little bit. We'll make it work.
Exactly. Never, right? Never worry. You can always make it work,
Yeah.
right?
I'm gonna get rid of this. You chat amongst yourselves.
Gonna
We
prob-
will
yeah.
chat.
Yes, we will.
So you use pork, chicken.
I know.
What else?
Does anyone
Like
have any
steak?
questions?
Can you stuff a steak like that too?
Yeah, could you stuff a steak?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I would love a nice steak with blue cheese and some
Yes.
vegetables in there.
With
For
the
sure.
steak, you'd have to, because like this chicken's gonna need to cook a good amount of time.
Uh-huh.
Steak, you don't cook as long, so
Right.
you'd have to have a filling that maybe you cooked.
Maybe a cook,
okay.
maybe a half cooked.
Right, right.
Yeah,
half cooked.
par cooked.
Like par cooked, par
There you
baked,
go.
par cooked.
Is that like that half wheel or a whole wheel or half a whole?
Something.
Something like that.
No, just jokes that go on in the shop.
Exactly. Cheesy
I have
jokes.
this half of a wheel, a whole wheel, or a quarter of a half. Or,
I'm gonna use a cast iron skillet. I think it creates the best sear on the chicken. For this recipe, I'm gonna sear the chicken on one side, sear it about halfway on the other side, and stick it in the oven in this pan. If you don't have an oven-safe pan, you could certainly transfer it to a sheet pan, but the pan that you sear the chicken in, you'll want to keep, because we're going to make a quick little sauce with the chicken stock in the bottom of this pan, just to keep it all moist and delicious. Who doesn't love good pan sauce?
Right?
mm.
Oh.
So I'm going to heat this up on high heat.
And talk about heating. You always heat the pan dry like that?
I do,
And then
yes.
put the oil or whatever in after?
Yeah, so I heat
Mhm.
the pan, put in the oil, heat the oil. Personally.
Okay, yeah. No, I see that often. And I
even
think
if
I
I'm
used to be the
frying.
opposite. I'd put oil in and then wait for it all to heat.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah,
But it seems that everybody does it this way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't know what works faster.
Right.
But I don't know if everyone's using a cast iron skillet. I kind of put in there, use a cast iron skillet or whatever you got. But this is my favorite pan to use. I use it all the time.
It's a good size too.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
perfect, and it's so worn. It's never seen a drop of soap. Do not put soap on your cast iron skillet.
No. Then can I tell you, just today, because
Why?
we had soap to the cast iron, put soap on it, rusted.
Yeah.
Rust.
Yes,
So I had to do the whole re-seasoning up. It's beautiful now.
yes.
We're gonna keep it that way.
You want to
Yeah.
season it.
Mhm.
There are instructions how to season it for the first time. But to clean this, I'll rinse it in warm water.
Yep.
Some people don't even let their skillet touch water. That's like hardcore.
That is. You just wipe it out,
You
right?
just wipe it out. But so I rinse it in super hot water. This is from the Lodge Company, the company that makes cast iron skillets. They also make a little chain. It's literally like a little square napkin chain. And you use that to scrub out the bits if you need.
Oh.
And then after it's rinsed, I put just kosher salt, coat the bottom of
Oh,
the pan.
salt.
And then I rub it with a paper towel, and that absorbs any extra water so you don't get any of those rust droplets ever. It just dries it all up and then seasons it back up. Yeah, it's my favorite thing
Get
to do.
out!
Yes.
So salt afterwards.
Mhm.
Rub it. And you said you wiped it around.
Yeah,
too.
it helps
Okay.
with drying. It helps with absorbing oil because that's the best. That's the thing with not putting any soap on here is that you get a lot of residual oil, which you don't necessarily want. But I mean, looking at this pan, you would never know that it never got washed with soap. I mean, it still looks nice and
I
clean.
thought it was a new pen.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I use this thing almost every day.
That's awesome.
And you know what's so funny? This came in a gift basket. You can see on the bottom from Cracker Barrel.
No, sir.
Yeah, this is Cracker Barrel on the bottom.
Cracker Barrel, that's awesome. But that's
It's
so
my favorite
good.
pan. It's a nice Lodge.
Love it.
pan.
Exactly, which is just so good.
That's funny.
So,
Oh, I love it. That even smells good. It's just,
I know.
You can smell that warming metal. I don't know what it
It
is.
reminds me of like
Like a campfire. Just like
bacon
toasting.
or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's interesting.
That's so good.
Okay,
Awesome.
so my pan's hot. I always touch the pan to see if it's hot, but I don't recommend doing that.
Probably not the best tip, but
This is our oil from the tomatoes. So I don't want this too hot. So I'm just going to put a little bit of oil in the bottom of the pan.
oh, you listen to the sizzle.
That's like the little pieces of tomato and garlic in here. It might get a little loud. You guys are going to smell this in just a second.
But what
I
a great,
smell it already.
what a great sound!
I love that
and
smell. That's
It's
my
all the
kitchen. That's what it
senses.
smells like when I use it when I cook at home with that.
Yeah, it's good.
It's
Right?
one of my favorite things.
I'm going to do a quick salt on the chicken, just on the top, and then I'll salt the bottom once I put it in the pan.
And this is what I was going to come up with. I always love when chefs say a little salt. Like, it's a lot of salt to me. It looks like a lot, but
Oh, yeah,
it's not. It's not. A little means a lot.
A little means a lot. Well, and you know what, too, I realized, let's see, this is going to make a good noise. They
Is
say,
everyone
like,
saying-
when you're watching the Food Network,
Yeah.
that the light just catches the salt. So when you're watching on TV and it looks like this huge rain of salt, it's just the camera.
Okay, because that is so much salt. Yeah. Oh my God! So Carol, our friend Carol, you'll love this. Sarah has a cast iron pan. Oh my gosh, from the late 1800s.
Oh my god!
That's so cool. It
You would
last
have
so-
an 1800 pan, Carol.
Yes, if anybody would. Yeah, that would be it. Oh, that's really great.
Uh-huh.
So you'll be saying, I had this back from the 2000s, your grandkids.
Yeah, really. One day.
That'll be Sarah's pan.
Oh,
The
Lorenzo.
Cracker Barrel pan.
I gotta
Like
teach
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo how to cook. I keep coming across these little like tyke kitchens, and I always shoot over the links to Sarah.
You're like, look at this, look
Yeah,
at this.
It's so
look at
cute.
this.
It's like a whole little kitchen for
I
kids.
love it.
Smells so good.
Yeah, perfect.
But I'm ready to make the cocktail. That's next.
Oh, the
Okay.
cocktail, because we have to talk about the wine, because we gave wine, right, in all the baskets.
We did,
today.
yeah. We
Yes,
haven't
we
opened
did.
it yet.
Oh, we haven't?
haven't.
Why?
Because we have after the chicken, we have to make the whole cocktail because this is a sweet wine,
Good point.
and I don't love sweet wine. I do like this, but I feel like we made it better making the cocktail.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
So that's a good tip. If you've got something too sweet, maybe you think,
Yeah.
make it a cocktail somehow.
They do recommend making this a cocktail if everyone's looking at the back
Yes.
of their bottle. Do you want
Yes.
to read? They have a little recipes on the
Sure.
a couple little recipes.
I
Dawn,
actually
take
was
it away.
reading about it. So I have to put my specs on because I can't see anything. So new age. So this is gonna. It's a nice. It's a slightly sweeter wine. I think we found like hints of strawberry in it,
Definitely.
and wild raspberries and stuff. But on the back of the bottle, everybody has the bottle. There's a little drink you can make with a side of grapefruit, some ash, ice, and sparkling water. Simple.
That sounds awesome.
And then their heartbreak is, add rum.
That's what they say with this
Wow.
wine, to add
Add an
liquor,
ounce
like
of
add
rum.
vodka, rum.
I don't know why, like in my mind, I think you cannot add hard liquors to wines. Like I have a
Sounds like a
blocking
headache.
against that. It sounds like a headache. Like, don't do it.
So if you
But
want
a lot of things have that
Yeah.
suggestion.
read the back of it, it says the Heartbreaker is an ounce of rum, add ice and complete with new age rosé, garnished with mint leaves, a cinnamon stick, and an anise star.
The mint and the cinnamon.
That's interesting.
Oh, that
Yes.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So this is an Argentinian wine, and it is 50% Merlot and 50% Malbec. And when we all taste, I think we all tasted it together.
We did. We were here this
We were
day.
here that one day.
Super strawberry, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be good with. Are we saving some for dessert too? Because I think it would be
should
good for
save
dessert.
some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
We have another bottle in the fridge.
Okay. This
We
is
definitely
good.
will
Yeah.
save some for dessert.
Yeah.
But no, it's good and it's pretty. Who doesn't love pink?
I know pink is good in wines. Remember when it was the bad thing? It was white Zinfandel.
White Zinfandel back in the 80s.
Yes, and everyone was scared of the pink wine. Now I love pink.
I love rosé.
I do.
Love me my rosé.
Do my rosé, and especially this time of year. It's the color of love.
Plus it is a slightly effervescent, plus we're going to add some extra effervescent
Which is
to
yes.
it. Because, yeah, it's interesting, but it's nice.
Yeah, beautiful.
Lovely.
So I flipped my chicken.
Oh,
I don't know if you can
beautiful
see
they are.
how brown it is. Do a little tilt here.
Do a little tilt as much as you
A
can.
little bit.
Yum.
So when you're brownie, how do you know you've browned enough? Just when it's brown.
You just look at it.
Just look at it.
If it's
No-
not brown enough, keep going.
Keep going. Okay.
That's the thing with cooking too, is that everyone's stove is different, everyone's pan is different. So a lot of it is not about time, it's about the result.
Yeah.
So if your chicken is not brown enough, keep going. I don't care that the recipe said brown for 3 minutes. Like if it takes you 6 minutes, then you just note that for next time.
Get it brown.
Longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That smells so good.
Well, I don't know if you guys can see it all, but this chicken here is the one that busted open. I kind of like made a little slit through, and the filling started to come out, but the searing kind of like locked it all on top of the chicken. Nothing's oozing out.
That's
Everything's
perfect.
staying kind of nice.
Smells scrumptious. Can't wait.
Yes, it does.
So I'm just gonna check the other side, see if it has a little color, and it does. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven, 375 degrees, until it's done. And I know that's not very helpful, but
Until it's done. And when is it done? When it's done.
We'll work together on this part.
Can you like use maybe like a meat thermometer or something to know when it's done for people?
Oh, like this one right here?
Oh, right there. See
was
that?
that planned?
No, it wasn't.
Is that on the list?
It's not, but
Well, good thing I asked.
I always, for chicken like this, I probably start at least like 15 minutes and do my first check. I know it's not gonna go any less time than 15 minutes, especially stuffing the chicken because it's extra thick now. But start with 15 minutes. We'll check with a meat thermometer. If you guys don't have an instant meat thermometer, I highly recommend getting one. Even like going
Yeah, those are
through
handy.
culinary school and being cooking my whole life, I still never know when chicken's done because you just can't feel like you can with a steak. A steak, you can poke at it and know kind of where it's at, but with chicken, you just can't, and you don't want to risk it. So I use this everywhere.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
So while that's cooking, you guys, everyone wants to know what's on the plate today.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the plate.
This is our Friday flight from Mary in North Park. This is her idea to do these Friday flights.
Yes, our first Fridays, which are all very exciting.
So I'm going to turn it this way. So, well, no.
Petite basque, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's backwards.
Oh, it's backwards. Gotcha.
So,
Check.
yeah. Well, anyway.
Side note, I'm throwing the pasta in.
So the petite
Pasta should go in now.
Pasta's
Pasta.
going in.
Pasta.
So
Pasta.
we're gonna
pasta.
go. Actually, we're gonna go from the right to the left as far as the top to the bottom on your little
Yes.
thing. That's the petite basque.
So sheet milk from France. Ultra creamy dreamy, would you say?
Very
Dawn?
mild
Go ahead.
cheese. Good mild cheese. It's a good mild cheese for beginners, I think, too. If anybody wants any mild cheese.
Yes.
And then smoking goose gin
Oh, yes.
and juice.
I'm not sure you've
I've
had it.
not
Have you had it?
this. No.
Dawn, go in. So it's right next to the petite basque on your plate is the
yeah.
smoking goose. So smoking goose is out of Indiana,
Oh, they make
a
their
charcuterie person. And the reason we did this plate, you guys, is to teach people what charcuterie means. Because it's, yes, there's lots of
Yeah.
confusion out in the
Biggest
world. Yes. Charcuterie does not mean cheese. Let's put it this way.
Right.
Charcuterie is any form of cured meats, salamis, meat-based products, pâtés, things made of meat, cold meats typically, your hams and that kind of stuff that
Cured.
you would typically cured on a plate are charcuterie. If you want a charcuterie tray, it's all meat. You can add cheese to your charcuterie tray and have cheese and charcuterie, but they're never one and the same. So that's a huge
It is
tip, and
huge.
this is what we wanted to teach everyone with
Yes.
this plate today.
A lot of
But
people
back
don't
to
know that.
smoking goose because I'm
It's
babbling
actually
away.
really good. I like it because it's like
good, right?
got a little bit of a kick, but not too much.
Yeah,
Yummy.
yummy, yummy.
Very yummy.
What's interesting about it is we did a real journey today. Is that the smoking goose is made with lamb.
Oh.
So it's got lamb and pork in it.
Wow.
Typically salamis are pork, but this one you got to try it, you guys. Smoking goose, lamb and pork, and gin. I get the gin in this. I love the gin flavor. It's juniper because gin
Juniper.
is juniper,
That must be
piney.
that, like,
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
yes.
So good.
This is yummy.
You guys, a lamb
Are
salami.
these in chubs?
Have fun. They're in chubs. Beautiful.
Yummy.
Smoking goose goes great with the creaminess of petite basque. Why we put them together. But I love that, right?
That's so delicious.
I love it. It's very junipery.
Yes.
That'd be great on a gin and tonic. You know what I'd like to do, you guys? I'd like to crisp it and make it like a crisp and put it on my gin and tonic martini. Wouldn't that be
Yum.
delicious? Like a gin
Yes.
martini?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow.
So anyway, that's smoking goose. That goes with the petite basque.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yummy.
Next cheese, Dawn. You
Alp
know
blossom.
it. You know this one well.
Oh, I love
Where's
the
he
Alp
hiding?
blossom. Alp blossom
You eat it.
down below.
Dig right in there.
This is one of my. I really enjoy this cheese because I just first of all I love the smell it.
Oh, smell it.
Like when you smell it, usually when we open it, it just smells like rose petals and like fresh like flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And we usually get a little packet of extra flowers.
Isn't that pretty?
So anytime I put it on a tray, I sprinkle the flowers
More flowers.
on it because
Yes.
it's such a fragrant cheese. It's just really yummy.
It's really yummy. So Alp blossom, I must say, comes from a small town in Austria, very near one of my aunts. It's called Multal. It's in the Austrian Alps, in Carinthia.
Super creamy.
And it's really good. And they rolled the whole outside of the cheese in these Alp blossoms.
Yep.
I want to say it's marigold. I can't remember everything that's in there.
I have a
the
list.
But
Yeah.
teeny little blossoms, you can eat them, of course. They're
Some
delicious.
chive,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Flower, rose,
Sugar, yep,
rose.
exactly. Really delicious. Alp blossom.
So the whole thing is edible. Everything.
Yes, edible. So then you have to talk about the last two. You know about Etna and the Bresaola, right?
We
Talk
didn't-
about
We
yeah.
didn't know we could keep getting Etna. We like lost our distributor for a while, and we're like dying. We have so many customer requests for the Etna salami. It's like I would say our number one favorite
Salami.
Salami.
Etna, you guys, you're gonna know the Etna on the plate because it has pistachio in it.
So yummy.
Okay, I must run for just a minute. I will
Yeah.
be right back.
Yes. I don't know the St. Aubrey.
But the Etna, the
Oh,
rule in the
so-
shop is if you're slicing Etna for someone, you gotta
Slice some
slice
for
a couple
everyone.
extra slices for the cheesemongers.
For everyone. Yes.
This comes from Olympia Provisions. The flavor in this is just so good. The pistachios are really nice and crunchy. What's the cheese?
Alp blossom.
Oh, the Alp blossom. Yeah,
Here's
that
what
would be really good.
Here, I'll give you the other half of mine.
Thank you, thank you.
This is a good, because this is like creamy, sweet almost, and this is kind of tangy.
Oh, and the Rosella is our last meat. That's an air-cured beef. So imagine like the beef tenderloin. Air-cured. It's has so many like spices on the outside. Like I almost want to say clove or allspice, something kind of warm. But the flavor is very unique. We love the Rosella.
Yes.
A lot of people get it when they're eating it with raclette. Oh, thank you.
I figured I'd use
Just
fork.
smell it. You can. It
Yes.
smells smoky.
Oh, it is super smoky
Yeah.
right now. Or is that the cheese that's smoky?
And this is a really great beef option for people not looking for pork.
Yum.
And then this last cheese we've actually never had,
Yes.
but it looks a little bit stinky. The rind looks a little
Saint,
stinky.
yeah, looks like a little wash rind. St. Aubrey. I have to taste this one.
Yeah, you taste it for us. Oh,
Hold on a second. Yeah, this is super smoky Bresaola. I don't think we've ever had our Bresaola this smoky.
I like it though.
So I'm going to take a little tasting spoon and kind of dig in here and be the guinea pig for a
I'm
new
just
cheese
checking
that
on
we've
the
not
pasta.
we've
Yeah.
not had this before.
Checking on the pasta, keeping it stirred up. Chicken still in the oven. The pasta is probably going to be done before the chicken, but we're going to toss it in a little bit of butter and parsley, and it can kind of sit and stay warm. This pasta is really nice, just a simple side dish. It can almost serve at room temperature, or at least like, you know, sat on the counter for 5 minutes while the chicken's finishing, and then it's like just like a little bit cooler. It still tastes delicious. So that's this is what's kind of nice about this dinner is that not everything has to be done at the exact same time.
Right. So this actually is slightly funky. I find it like a little funky, maybe kind of like up there with like a brie fermier when it's like super ripe
Okay.
in flavor. But it almost reminds me of the stinking bishop that we used to get, but we can't get anymore.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, no, it's yummy. It's definitely a pungent cheese. So
Wait, it goes well with the.
absolutely, because this is super smoky and it just kind of balances it out. these are probably the best thing. These little cornichons.
Is it time to make our cocktail?
I think so.
I think
I'm empty.
So am I. So
I need a new one.
we have this blood orange, so that's where we're gonna start. I'm gonna move everyone's glasses so I can make their cocktails. Yeah, you can just go right here. Wipe your lipstick off, Joy.
I gotta wipe my lipstick off.
I have my blood orange here. I'm just gonna cut both ends off.
They're so good, those blood oranges.
You're gonna see the citrus really helps tone down the sweetness of the wine. I'm gonna sit this on its flat end, cut it in half. Then it's sitting on this flat piece. I'm gonna cut it in half again. And then I'm gonna cut it into about 1/4 inch slices. So you're left with this little perfect wedge of blood orange. And these are just beautiful. You can see like the gradient color all throughout blood orange. It's dark by the rind and lighter by the inside. And then I'm just gonna put maybe 4 of these in each glass. If you wanted to really bring out some of the flavor, you could kind of muddle it down with a spoon, or even if you had a muddler. Okay, Dawn's gonna go get a colder wine. That's our, that was our demo bottle. But this wine, they also recommend to put some ice in there as well. So Dawn's gonna pull ours right out of the fridge and it'll be ice cold. I have some blueberries here. Put a little bit of handful, maybe 10 or 12 blueberries in there. Same thing. If you want to intensify the flavor, you can go ahead and muddle it down a little bit. But I think fresh like this really works as well. There we go. Then from here, we're going to top with wine, about 3/4 of the way. Let it foam up a little bit. You can add a little bit more wine. You can see how effervescent it is. It looks pretty bubbly when I pour this, but it's not that strong when you actually make it. So 3/4 of the way. I do like to fill this glass pretty full because we're going to put a flower on top and it's going to look so cute. Everyone's got Pellegrino sparkling water. You can use anything for this. I recently got into making mojitos. And I don't have any club soda, but I have LaCroix. So I've been changing up the flavor of my LaCroix that I've been using in my cocktails. So we started using the lime LaCroix, you can use passion fruit, like something like this you can totally customize with the flavor of your sparkling water. It doesn't have to be club soda because I feel, right on the edge there. If you had a grapefruit LaCroix for this, that would be so good.
Yes, that was one of the recommendations on the back of the bottle.
Yeah.
With grapefruit.
So then, just to make it pretty, and who doesn't want to treat themselves on Galentine's Day? We have these little violas that we love to add. I'm gonna bring this up close. Since our camera woman is on break here, look at our pretty little flowers. Look how cute these are.
Those are violas.
So if you want, go ahead and put a few in your cocktail. I'm gonna save a couple for our dessert. But look how nice this looks.
It's so beautiful.
I gave everyone 6 flowers, so you should have enough
How pretty.
for your cocktail and your dessert.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, Dawn.
Cheers.
Let's take a taste.
Oh, look, my blueberries sunk to the bottom.
I know. We were testing out this recipe. We tried it with a little bit of kiwi too, but we found out kiwi does not float, which was a little bit strange. So it's just at the bottom
I'm
of
going to
our.
muddle mine a little.
Oh, you are?
Yes, I think I want to get some extra juices going there.
If you want to, I would recommend tasting the wine on its own, and then on the side, and then tasting your cocktail and see kind of what you like better. I think this is so nice and light.
It's refreshing.
Refreshing. You could throw a couple ice cubes in here. What you could do too, sorry, my chicken timer's going off. What you could do too is make some ice cubes with like a flavored sparkling water.
Or even some of the fruit.
Yes, that's what I was going to say next. Throw some pieces of the blood orange or some pieces of blueberry into your ice cube tray, and you have really pretty ice cubes for your cocktail.
Yes, that'd be beautiful.
This is going to go great with our chicken and great with our dessert as well.
Yes, it is. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to do a quick check on the chicken with my thermometer. My pasta here.
Sarah's giving me a steam bath over here.
Steam facial.
Yes. She's going to make my hair frizzier than it already is.
I don't think that's possible.
No, really? I don't think so. I wish we could answer some questions. We don't have our camera girl. Sarah's going to taste some deliciousness.
So my chicken is about 135, 140 degrees. What you're really looking for with a stuffed chicken breast like this, you can go all the way to the 165. Generally, if you're cooking poultry to 165, it comes out a little bit dry. That is the safe temperature that they recommend. But with all that stuffing in there, it's going to keep your chicken nice and moist, so you can go ahead and get it up to 165. So I think we're going to probably need about another 5-7 minutes. So we set a little timer here. And what we're going to do next is, this one side, I'm just going to chop some parsley to be ready for our pasta. Just butter and parsley on our pasta. It's going to be so simple. I have this parsley here. I'm going to keep it in the bunch. Pull back the little tag here. And I'm just going to start chopping the parsley from the bunch here, because it's going to keep it all held together. You won't have to worry about your parsley getting away. And then if you chop it fine enough, it is actually okay if you get some pieces of the stem, because the stem has so much flavor, and if you cut just from the top of the stem, it's still going to be so light in texture. You're not going to feel like you've got like kind of a woodsy stem in your pasta. We use the stems of parsley a lot if you're making homemade chicken stock. You never want to throw those stems away. There's a lot of flavor you're throwing away.
Well, I know when I make a tea from thyme, I know that the stems are really bitter.
It's a little bit different than the thyme, because
Yeah.
the thyme's so like woodsy.
Yeah, it's very woodsy. It's
Thick.
very earthy. It's a really earthy herb, but
Yeah.
it's really good. But it's definitely
So it's not super fine, nice thick pieces. This is the bowl I'm gonna serve my pasta in later, so I'm just gonna toss it in here. And this will be ready for when the pasta's ready.
I hope everybody's enjoying this delicious cocktail. And you know what? You can even eat this little viola, because it is an edible flower.
Yes, the flowers are edible. They may not be totally delicious. We've learned from experience with stop laughing at me. We've learned from experience the mums.
The mums are really bitter.
These little white mum flowers that we use are not, they're a little bit bitter, but they look so nice.
I'm gonna have to eat this viola tonight.
Do a little
I think.
taste test.
Yes, I will have to.
I think we get dessert ready now. So we're like
Okay.
fully ready.
We're ready. Absolutely.
Let's chop our cherries first.
Your blueberries keep floating.
Keep floating.
Or actually, Gina's do. They keep going up and down. Kind of like a lava lamp. It's pretty cool.
So these are our chocolate cherries. I think I'm just going to cut them in half.
They're so
You can
good.
see how pretty. Let's pull one. Is it too close?
I don't know, but it's delicious. They're so good.
They just like glisten in the light. You can see.
I think there might be some liquor in those, but I'm not sure.
See what the package says. I believe it's just a candied cherry.
Candied
but you
cherry.
can do quarters, you can do halves. You're really just making this nice and bite-sized to go on top of your cheese. This is like the simplest of desserts because
It's always one of my favorite things when I was a kid was chocolate-covered cherries, and they had that little syrup in them.
oh yeah, what are those called? I made them in culinary school. I remember because you have to like.
They were so good. They had this
Oh,
really
the cherry cordials.
cordials.
Yes.
Yes. Ugh, they were so yummy.
You know how you make those is you mix the cherry and the cherry liqueur with this cooking substance that I can't remember at the time, but it's solid so that you're able to coat it in chocolate, and then overnight it liquefies. That's how
wow.
you get the liquid cherry in the center of the chocolate. I know, random knowledge that I have to share.
But that's good to know, though.
Yeah.
But those are my favorite. Those chocolate-covered cordial cherries are just delicious.
But these are the little yellow, like Rainier cherries is what they're called.
Yes.
Ranier, Rainier. But a little bit different than the dark kind of red, juicy cherries.
Right. But they're delicious, and nonetheless.
Did you make the cocktail?
We did.
Did I come at the right time?
She did.
We can get our official
The official
Galentine's cheers.
toast. A cheers to you all. A
Cheers
cheers
to
to
you.
you all.
All of our ladies and not ladies joining us.
Okay, I'm going to catch up on the comments. Hold on 1 second. I'm offline. Let me see if anyone's hearing. Let me go back. Give me 1 second to get us
Oh,
back.
you went outside, that's why.
Yep.
But we're not offline.
We'll just drink our
We are
coffee.
offline. Hold on 1 second. Oops, not.
Uh-oh.
Did our Wi-Fi go down?
I hope not, but I don't see us on here. Venissimo, Del Mar. Let's get us back. It'll take me just a second.
Is the video on or no?
Christine.
Nothing is on right now. 1 second, everyone, in case anybody hears, but it's offline, so it couldn't be. So let's go back to stream. Always something. It was working till I walked in.
Oh, I know
1
what you're
second. And we should be back in just momentarily.
I hope so.
Okay, we're back. I hope.
We're back.
Okay, everybody, are we back? We're back. Who knows? Technology.
I'm checking.
Or don't blame me on that one.
She can hear us.
Okay, she can hear us. We should be back at any
I
second,
think we're
Christine.
back.
We should be back. We don't know what happened there. It was working all fine, but I think we are back. Thanks for your patience, everybody.
Is everyone here?
Everyone is here.
What have we missed?
Okay, what have we missed?
missed? I don't
Hey,
even know.
we did a toast,
We were just drinking our cocktails.
and you went through the cheese plate. We have some
Yeah.
fans of San Albre, which I think was delicious
We had
today.
never tried
I
it.
never
You never
tried it
tried
before.
San
It's our
Albre?
first time.
Yeah.
I always
good,
I
right?
always felt it has that like little Refermier tang in the back, like the finish.
Yes. Do you love that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like
Good
that
stuff.
kind of like little metallic almost, but it almost has it reminds me of a stinky bishop.
A little bit? Yeah.
It's a little stinky.
Oh, that's yum.
I also pulled my chicken out. I just checked the temperature. We're at 165. I pulled it out to rest. It's just sitting right on top of my toaster oven here. The pasta is finished, so I'm going to ladle it out into my bowl with the parsley. We're going to pause on our dessert real quick. Then I'm going to add the butter to the pasta and just toss the pasta with parsley and butter. That's all it is until we add the cheese at the end.
Parsley butter. Look at those little butter. Who wrapped those?
Christina.
Oh my gosh, that's like
She
little
loves
pockets
cute little
of joy.
things. Yeah.
And is that which
The
butter? is
President
this?
French butter.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
That's what we use in the Stollen every year.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, it's good butter. Yeah. French butter.
Little pause on our dessert.
Christine wants one of these cocktails. Teleportation. That's another thing that needs to be invented.
Yes, Christine.
Yes. Christine, to you. We miss you.
We miss you, Cece. Love you, long time. She has to make an appearance one day. We're gonna have a diva dinner. When she
A diva
comes to
dinner.
visit.
That's right. That's right. So you probably talked about this. Had you salted the water heavily
Yes,
before you
heavily.
did? Yeah. Okay.
I want it to taste like the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Salty as the sea? Yes.
This is my
Salty as the
favorite
sea.
tool. I have a funny story about this. It's called a spider.
Yeah,
That's
so
what it's
tell
called.
me, I need a spider. Why don't I have a spider?
So I never had one
Okay.
because I don't know why.
Like you have a slotted spoon or...
Yeah.
It looks like great for like pulling eggs out of water too.
Yeah. And then I was making something that I needed to fry in big batches. So, you know, if it's at your mom's house, then it's free to take. So I took her spider.
You're going to remember that when Lorenzo, right, is...
Of course,
Okay,
of course.
just checking.
I'll make sure
Nibble.
he's well equipped.
The Brazil is really smoky, smokier than ours, I think, that we have.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
took her spider and I just borrowed it. I was gonna return it.
Uh-huh.
And
like
then
this
apparently
story.
I didn't return it quick enough. So then my mom bought me this one because she liked hers better and wanted it back. And so she bought me this one.
Is it not as good as your mom's? Or?
No, hers is a little bit smaller.
Okay.
That's it. But I love this thing. Pulling pasta has never,
Better.
out of the water, has never been easier. I recently made homemade salt and vinegar potato chips. That's another
That
dining with
sounds
the
very
divas.
fine.
But was so easy to pull everything out.
And plus, you have that extra water that you're supposed to use when you're
Exactly,
making your
and
sauces
keep it,
and
right?
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't have to throw away your pasta water because same thing. If I want this to be a little bit saucy, I'm just grating some Parmesan cheese over the
Parmesan,
top.
never enough.
Never enough.
Did you see my little post I made the other day? Yeah.
Never enough.
The girl, he's like, "You done? No, keep going, keep going, keep going." And there's a pile of.
Yeah, that went like
The
a
cartoon.
mountain high.
Yeah, I posted
Yeah.
something the other day. It was really funny, and it was just
It's kind of the truth.
if you're
Yeah.
if you're a
If you're a
cheese
cheese lover,
monger,
and
you
who
lover,
is?
you're
Yes.
gonna get it.
So butter, parsley, parmigiano.
Yes, and I was telling everyone earlier that this is one of those pastas that is okay a little bit once it's cooled off. So if it's not done at the same time as your chicken, you can just sit and wait until you're ready. Because it's so just nice and plain, and this will kind of soak up the flavors coming out of your chicken as well.
I have to remember that, Sarah, because I'm so stressed about getting everything out at the same time so that they're all hot.
Yeah, but this is like fine a little bit cooler.
Would you do me the honor of?
Yes, what do I do?
Oh,
Just pour more?
just
I
pour
can do this.
wine and then top with a little Pellegrino.
Okay, a little splash.
You can muddle your fruit
I
a little
muddled my
bit
fruit.
if you
That's
like.
good. Thank you.
Okay.
I muddled my fruit, and it's actually really tasty. It's
Muddling's a
very
good thing.
summerish. This is like a great
Flavor.
summer aperitif.
We have a thank you for all the tools, tips, and tricks.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Oh,
I
so
don't know
fun.
if I explained on any of the classes before, but I did go to culinary school. These are not just things I kind of picked up
Did
from
you?
the internet.
Right, you know.
But I went to
'Cause you
culinary
could-
school right out of high school.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, worked at the Marine Room in La Jolla while I was going
Oh,
through
yeah.
school, and then wound up here at the cheese shop.
At the cheese shop, and now you're cooking again.
And
I mean,
I'm
it's
cooking
perfect.
again.
The cheese shop down there. Interesting. So everyone's finding it interesting to pull the pasta out of the water versus
Yes.
draining it or straining it in
Yeah.
a strainer. You don't need to, just the
Scoop
spider.
it right out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's finish our dessert real quick so that it's ready to eat as soon as we are
Mm.
done.
Delicious.
I have this cute little stand.
She's a
I
very
believe
special dessert for
we
us.
found this
today.
at
Oh.
like the dollar store.
You
or
did
something.
not.
Yeah, Target. Like this is something so cute and simple. And I was telling Dawn, I was like, I have to think of a cute story of how I'm going to use this cheese. And you know how when you're kids, you have like those little best friend heart bracelets.
Yeah.
Like you have the heart that says best, and you have the heart that says friend.
I think I have one of
This-
those for my daughter and I.
You do.
So we're gonna cut this in half, and you guys are gonna have your best and your friend's
Oh.
cheese pieces.
We are,
This is like the
but not
adult
yet, but
version.
Not yet.
I want it now.
So all I'm gonna do is take these chocolate cherries and just
Put it on the.
put it on top of the cheese.
We'd have to make a little heart.
We have to eat dessert first.
There's
Hey,
nothing
give it a
wrong with
try.
that.
Top with some of the flowers. Let's see, I have some of the prettier purple flowers in my other bag here.
I'm gonna try to go for the not be technical crazy, but to get a nice close of that.
Yes, please do.
Well, she can put it right here. So
Look,
pretty.
this literally took me 2 seconds. And look how nice it looks. Look at those cherries just glistening, and the chocolate and the cheese and the flowers. I mean, you just can't go wrong with a dessert like this. That's so simple.
Oh,
And you
why
can
do we complicate things?
I know, and you can just serve it right in between you two. This doesn't have to be Galentine's, you know, this can be for you and your significant other on Valentine's Day. You each have a half of a heart. I mean, what is not to love?
This is awesome.
So cute. That looks so pretty.
Doesn't
Can I
it?
take a picture of it?
Yes,
Can I take a picture of it?
you can. Oh, those cherries. I like the concept, like you're preparing the order in which you're preparing things makes it easy. Then, like you said, everything's kind of done at the right times, and
You don't want to have to prepare dessert after you've already eaten and
No,
sat
no,
down
no,
with
no.
your guest. I mean,
No. Who wants to prepare dessert?
no.
By the
I just
time
want
I
to
don't
eat.
do dessert by the time it comes.
Nice.
Yummy. Any questions? Does anybody have any questions?
well,
No,
let's serve
they're
up
all.
here. Dawn,
Yep.
you want to hand me your plate?
Oh, absolutely. Ooh, chicken's done too? Yeah.
Lost my tongs.
No questions. You must be answering all the questions, Sarah.
I forgot about our sauce.
Simple gray.
Alright, this is what happens when you do a live cooking show. I forgot about our sauce.
Uh-oh.
So we're just gonna go no sauce, but I'll tell you what to do if you want to keep going.
To keep the sauce.
To do the
I got no
sauce.
sauce.
But all you could do is you pull the chicken out of the pan, put the pan back on the stove. Mix a little bit of Dijon with the chicken stock and let it cook for maybe the 5 minutes that it takes for the chicken to rest.
Just to reduce or okay.
Just to reduce a little bit, and that is just going to be a nice little pan sauce. But also, we're on fly here, and if you forgot, then
That's
nobody
okay.
needs to know.
Nobody needs to know.
This
This is lovely.
is why they don't do things live on the Food Network.
No, it's all planned and staged and
More pictures. Sorry, guys.
So the question again, what was the name of the heart cheese, Christine? And the name is Heart's Desire.
Heart's Desire.
From Cyprus.
No,
Nope.
it's from
No,
Cowgirl
it's
Creek.
Cowgirl.
Creaming.
Mount Tam.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Mount Tam.
I will type it in here. From Cowgirl, Mount Tam in the shape of a heart. Heart's Desire.
Here you are, Miss
Oh my
Gina.
gosh. I like being the eater, not the cooker.
Who wants cheese?
Oh.
Yes, and everybody look, I hope everybody's turned out. Yes, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Well, you gave
Okay.
me two chicken sides.
Okay, that's good.
I'll take the split chicken.
Yes, so good, everybody. Heart
Let me know if you got any
cheese.
little extra zest and garlic in yours.
Yes, because remember the zest and the garlic are still stuck on the microplane. Don't
You
let
know
that
what?
go
I'm
to
almost
waste.
thinking you really don't need a sauce on this.
No.
I mean, it would be not. It would be nice, yeah. But you know what? You were staying healthy.
There ain't nothing healthy about this dish. John.
No, healthy schmelty.
Not for
Delicious is most
Galentines.
important, not for Galentines.
And
Good.
the cheese will help to make a sauce too. So
Right, on its own.
Mm-hmm.
we'll put a little
Would you have put
Wow.
could you put more cheese if you were making the sauce into the sauce? Could you? Would
yeah,
it coagulate?
you could. You
or
don't
could-
want to, like right at the end, once you've taken
Okay.
it off the heat and you're
Yeah.
finished cooking, you could put some cheese in there to thicken it up a little bit.
Mhm. Oh god.
Everyone make
So
sure you
yummy.
take a TV bite.
Oh, a dainty, delicate bite, and they're just. Mhm.
Wow.
I
You know-
think parsley is underutilized as an actual flavor.
Right.
Like
As
you
the-
really
yeah.
get the good parsley flavor.
Was this
on the
Italian
pasta.
style parsley? Yeah, love that. Mm-hmm. And it right there adds so much. Oh, the butter though. God, the
Delicious. Wow.
I cut up on my cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I cut mine open. It's so scrumptious.
So cream cheese, goat cheese. Could you use another cheese in there? Would you ever do like an Alpine? Would you put other cheeses in? Could you? Would you?
You know, I don't see why not.
Mhm,
You'd want it shredded. And since we don't cook the filling ahead of time, it's not going to melt.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it'll just
Mhm.
melt while you're cooking. So definitely, I think you could. I think you at least need the cream cheese to make the whole sauce or the whole filling come together.
Okay.
To bind
That's
it
To
almost.
bind it, correct.
So
And-
something that cream cheese creaminess.
Yeah, but then you could swap out the goat cheese or just
Yeah.
even add extra cheese, all that
Wow.
stuff.
The cream cheese
gonna-
is very fluffy when I can tell you that. It was,
Yes.
It was a
And
real
you said it was
fluffy-
the whipped kind.
Yes, it was very. It was
But yeah, I
very-
don't know if everybody can see.
Wow, this is
That
delicious.
pocket has a plenty of filling in it.
Mhm.
But that's good because you're right. Chicken breast can be so dry. I mean, it is a lean meat,
Yeah.
right? So you need that. We're just going to eat, and eat.
I know. This is scrumptious.
Carol's house, eat dessert first. So that's what they're doing because they're still pulling together the main dish. So
Oh, yeah.
dive
Why
into
not?
the dessert, Carol.
Do
I would
whatever
do
you
the
need.
same. Okay, well, yes. That's what I need.
The cherries are just so pretty.
Okay, I can't stop it.
They're so
yeah,
good.
stop already.
I'm happy.
Pork, you'd cook about the same amount of time,
I can
right?
taste the zest.
Oh, you can? Mm-hmm. Okay, I've got to get into the
I can taste
zest.
that lemon zest.
Yep. The citrus, citrus is on everything now, but it is so good, right? Like lime zest, any of those citrus zests.
Yeah.
Orange zest, lemon zest, right? To give it that pop.
A
Yeah.
little bit different flavor, like without adding juice. So you don't want
It's
not
very
it doesn't
subtle.
give you a sour, but it gives you that lemon essence.
Yeah.
Wow, this is scrumptious.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Will you come and cook for me every night? I'll give you as many cast iron pans as you want.
Anytime.
As many as you want.
For me.
Delicious. We get lots of comments. It's delicious, delicious. Thank you, Divas. Oh my gosh. Oh, do we want to let it? Well, I just want to keep eating and eating.
I know. I don't know if anyone has
Now
any
you
questions.
should do too is take a sip of your
Okay, after the chicken.
with the chicken. Very good.
Yeah. Oh, they go together nice. It's not sweet. You've de-sweetified it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a perfect light cocktail for the pasta and the chicken.
That
It is.
the filling could almost be like a dip, like a warm spinach dip.
Yes,
Just
I
like
think it could.
Oh, 100%. The tomato in there and.
I make this for dinner like once a week.
Cheers to Chef Sarah.
Yes. Cheers to Chef Sarah.
Thank you, thank you.
Before we go on, though, I'm going to have a bite of the dessert, the chocolate
Please
with
do.
the Mount Tam, with the Heart's Desire. I should not say Mount Tam. We'll say
Well, they
Heart's
do
Desire.
say it is a heart-shaped Mount Tam.
They do say it themselves. Okay. Okay. Oh, those
So
cherries are so good. The Rainiers, yeah, good. Chocolate and cheese, good. Cheese and anything's good, I'm going to say. Right?
And this one looks really nice and ripe too. Sometimes Mount Tam comes in a little young, a little firm, but I pulled this one apart, and at room temperature, it's nice and gooey and buttery and delicious.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't do our little.
Oh, your little best in friends heart shape.
We didn't because I ate it. Oh,
You
we're
have a broken
besties
heart.
now. We're besties.
So cute.
Oh my gosh. Everybody, that is good. I don't think there's questions now. I think everybody's good. Everyone says cheers.
I think everybody's eating.
Everyone's eating. What do we want to say? But thank you for joining
you.
us.
Thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you for supporting us
And
through all
supporting
of this.
us. We're having fun. We're
Yeah.
not.
We
We're,
love
we're
these
having fun.
classes, yeah.
We love it. There will be more.
We have
Cooking
one
with
coming up
Divas.
in March.
Tell us, what are we going to do in that? Do we have a theme?
No theme
No
yet,
theme yet.
but we're throwing around ideas, and because we were talking about the spinach dip, I mean,
Yeah.
everyone, maybe at least for our appetizer, spinach artichoke dip in a bread bowl. Maybe we even send everyone with one of those so they can just throw it in the oven and just have it ready.
Maybe that's the
But
appetizer. It's going to be delicious, whatever it
any
is.
dinner requests, let us know. I mean,
Yes.
we want to do what you want to see. So.
Yes, exactly. All things cheesy, all things delicious. Enjoy, you guys. Thank you. We're going to finish now.
Happy Galentine's
Happy
Day.
Galentine's, Valentine's.
Celebrate all
To
your
sell the
ladies.
love, everybody, yes. Celebrate.
Cheers.
Ladies, gentlemen, everyone, just celebrate and have
Celebrate.
fun. Thank you. Au revoir, Auf Wiedersehen. Good night.
Next
yes?
time.
Bye. Till next time.
Bye.
Ciao. Take care. Be cheesy.